What is going on, guys? Infamis here, and as you guys can see in the title, I'm going to be showing you guys some of the best useful tips and tricks to get used to Claw so that you can improve as a player and that you can just get better at the game. So we're going to start with tip number 1 right now. So the first tip for your Claw progression is that it's going to take time. You probably think you guys are going to get goated, or I'm pretty sure you're going to see some Claw videos of people getting insane in 1 week only. So I'm going to let you know right now, I figured out that most of those videos are fake. Most of those videos are not real, and don't listen to them. It's going to take time because by week 1, when it was my first week, I wasn't as good as all the people that I saw who were insane. Like, there was people who were like face way on their day 1 or day 2 or day 3. They were already doing triple edits and stuff. I just want to let you guys know that none of that is real. All of that is fake. So it's going to take you at least 1 week to fully get used to. And I honestly didn't believe in myself. I thought I wasn't going to improve, and I thought it was just a waste of time. But I'm letting you guys know it is not a waste of time. Around day 3, I wanted to quit because I saw that I just wasn't really improving. It's not going to take you guys only 3 days to become decent and to get used to what you're trying to do. It's going to take more than that. So I just want to let you guys know, tip 1, you need to remember that it's going to take time for you to get used to. I say at least a week and a half before you actually get comfortable with Claw. It's not going to take you 2 days or 1 day to actually get used to it. Let's get straight into tip 2, boys. So really quick disclaimer, boys. One thing that really helped me with my Claw progression is knowing how to hold my controller. I forgot to mention this, so I'm recording it right now. So what I thought is that you have to keep your hands like this at all times. You don't have to. You can keep your hands rested on the triggers, and then when you need to, bring it down. So what I kept doing, my hands were just like this, and I was really uncomfortable, and I couldn't build, I couldn't do anything, and I was messing up. So what I do is, I keep my hand right here rested. I don't keep it all the way down here because that's uncomfortable. So when I'm going like this, and then when I need to edit, I bring my hand down. It's just a natural reflex. But I keep this Claw because that's what's comfortable for me. Like I said, keep what's comfortable, boys. So yeah. Just know how to hold your controller. You don't have to keep your hands clawed at all times. You can just lay your hands like this, and then when you need to, put your hands down for the triggers. So yeah. Well, this one is basically a no-brainer, but tip 2 is to find good settings. Find settings that fit you, find settings that are comfortable. You're not going to copy, like, let's say you copy Faceway settings, he plays right-hand claw, only right-hand claw, so he edits with triangle. You're not gonna, let's say it's your first time, you're not gonna feel comfortable straight away using Faceway settings. It might be too fast, it might be too low. I just suggest that you find settings that fit you. You need to tweak your settings, maybe ask your friends around. So basically, around after week 1, I just started looking for good settings when I should have been looking at least like day 2. So you wanna find some really good settings that fit you, and I suggest that you don't necessarily pick super fast settings because you want to build it and fast. Let me show you my settings right now. So you guys are going to think it's slow, but as you can see, I like to build very smooth. I don't like to build fast or like to, because I'm going to show you a clip right now of choppy gameplay. I'm going to put it in really quick, and choppy gameplay is like this. So, as you saw in that clip, that was choppy gameplay. You don't want to have your gameplay like that because it's not going to look as good, and it doesn't really matter. People think that you need to be as fast as possible, like you need to, like, it's just going to mess you up. You want to be smooth, and you want to make sure that you're able to do whatever you want to do. So, as you guys can see, I'm being very smooth right now. I messed up my builds, but I'm not trying to be super fast. I'm not trying to, like, make it perfect. I'm just playing smooth right now. Like, as you guys can see, I'm not rushing anything. So that's what you guys want to do. And for the settings, I recommend that you choose someone who's on your control. So right now I'm using a regular DualShock 4 controller with Galaxy Control Freaks. One person that uses Galaxy Control Freaks with a regular PS4 controller is Flea. I'll leave his link in the description in case you guys want to check him out. So personally, I got my settings from my friend. I tried out FaceWave settings. I tried out a whole bunch of people who are on a PS4 controller, Wavy, Jacob, all of them, and I just couldn't seem to find settings that were fit to me. So you're not going to find your settings straight away. Not everything is going to feel comfortable. I just suggest that you don't base it off how fast you can do things. Like let's say you can do a double edit fast. It's not going to matter if you can do a double edit fast if your aim is bad. So you want to have a sense that you can edit on and you can build on and you can do everything you want to do. So I'm going to show you my settings right now in case you want to copy. I really like these settings. I don't know if it makes a difference, but put these at 4 and then turn back advanced options on. So 1.5. Here are my settings right here, boys. So yeah, these are my settings, and I don't recommend, if your controller is kind of old, I don't recommend you using a high. I don't recommend you guys using a low dead zone. Low dead zone is going to give you drift, and I learned that the hard way from playing and getting very mad because my controller was just going like drift. Is basically when your controller moves by itself. So I don't know if this controller is pretty good, so I'm probably not going to get drift if I show you guys the low dead zone. But drift is basically, let's say you're not touching your controller, hypothetically, and it just keeps moving like this aside. One of my controllers has drift, so you want to make sure that you're at a dead zone where your controller doesn't use drift. I don't recommend 5, but if you have a very new controller, then 5 should be fine. 6 is pretty good, but you guys saw my settings. So yeah, if you want to copy mine, I like them. They're pretty good. They're smooth. I can do everything. And they look like they're somewhat fast, but they're actually not. It's really smooth to play on, and I love the settings. Let's get into tip 3. So tip 3 is to go what you're comfortable with. So you're not going to find that right now I play double claw. So I hold my controller like this. I'll try to show you guys a better. Alright, that's not going to work, but I hold my controller like this. So you guys, I'm sorry it's upside down, but I hold my controller like this. So you can play just right hand claw, just left hand claw, but I suggest if you're on a PlayStation controller, you try both. I started off using right hand claw, so I only played like this, and I had my controller like this. I only played like this, but I suggest you really do both. It's not going to feel comfortable at first, but I suggest if you're on a PlayStation controller, you go straight to double claw. I love it, and if you're using double claw, the best edit button I suggest for you guys is the touchpad. This edit is really good, and there's 2 ways that you can do it. You can hold it so that your finger right here is holding on top and you press it like this. I don't play like that because it's just not comfortable for me. Or you can have your finger resting on top of it like this. This is how I play it. It's comfortable with me. I like it. So just find what's comfortable for you. So if you're on Xbox, obviously you cannot play double claw. Well, you can. I'm not going to show you guys a representation, but you can play double claw, but you're going to have to be moving the analog sticks with your pointer fingers. So I suggest if you play Xbox controller, you obviously want to just play right hand claw and maybe edit with Y or B, or A. I don't really know an Xbox controller like that because I don't play Xbox. Yeah. So I suggest double claw, like I was saying before, and just know what's comfortable with you boys, because you're not gonna find that everything is comfortable for you in the beginning. You just want to find what's comfortable. If right hand claw is comfortable for you, then stick with right hand claw. Or I suggest you guys learn both claws. It's really beneficial if you guys learn how to use both of your hands claw. So you can start off using right hand claw. So you can start off just having your claw on your right hand and just playing like this. Or you can start off with double claw. I suggest you start off with double, but if you're a slow learner, and just do what's right for you. You can start off with one hand claw, and then as you get comfortable with your right hand, I say in a week, then you start learning double hand claw. So yeah, let's get into tip 4. I've been watching videos, I've been doing my research. Tip 4 is wrist rotation. So some of you guys are probably holding your controller wrong, and that's why it feels super bad. It's not going to feel really good in the beginning, but obviously there's ways to make it more suitable and more comfortable to you. So you might be holding your controller like this, you might be holding your controller like more rotated. So it's really what's comfortable to you. So let's say you're holding your controller like this, like super clawed, and it doesn't feel good. Then just loosen your fingers up. Or let's say your hands are like on the outside and you're very loose. Just put your fingers in. So I learned, use the wrist rotation to your advantage. If you don't feel comfortable like this, just move your wrist up a little bit so you feel comfortable. I generally play like this, so it's like it feels uncomfortable, but honestly, as you get used to it, as the first week goes on, it's not going to feel that bad. I thought it felt really uncomfortable playing claw in the beginning, but I know it's going to be a struggle and it's not going to take one day to get used to, but you guys should be good. And just know your hands are supposed to hurt. My hands were hurting a lot. I tell you guys a lot. Don't quit. Don't think you're going to get arthritis, because that's not going to happen unless you're physically like holding your controller like this or something. You're not going to get arthritis. Your hands are not going to be crippled. You're going to be fine. And just figure out what rotation works for you. If you like playing more inwards, if you like playing more outwards, I suggest just find a comfortable position, something that you're not like forcing your finger to do. Something that, so my hand just lays right here. And another thing is just know where your hands are. So like I said, if you're doing double hand claw, you can rest your hands on here, top of the touchpad, or you can rest them right here. It doesn't really matter, both ways are really good, but just find what's comfortable for you. And also, I really suggest you use your, sorry for sticking up the middle finger, boys, but I suggest you really use your middle fingers to build. So I noticed Flea, he brings his hand, so basically he brings his hands up, his pointer fingers up, to press R1 and L1. I suggest you guys, it's probably going to feel weird only building with your middle fingers, because most people are used to playing like this. They play with their pointer fingers touching both, and like I can't play like this now. Like it's impossible for me to play like this. I don't know how I play like this, I just cannot go back. It's not good, and you have to move your fingers. Like it's just not good, boys. Just trust me on this one. Build with your middle fingers only. Do not bring your hand up to press these. Flea does it, but he's just insane at the game. He plays a lot of hours. If you don't have time, trust it. It's best if you build with your middle finger. It's going to feel really uncomfortable, because I know most of you are used to playing like this and not to playing like this with both fingers. To make it easier for you, you could probably start off building with these two fingers, building with your middle finger and your pointer finger. So you can start off playing like this, or maybe you could just go into the claw. Either way, it's going to be beneficial to you. So yeah, let's get into tip 5. So I'm pretty sure this is tip 6. I don't really know. It's tip 6. So basically, this corresponds to the last tip I told you guys, and this is to copy a pro player's binds. So most people think, you know what, find what's right for you, find what's good for you, but I suggest you copy a pro player's binds who uses the same controller as you, obviously, and what you want to do is just tweak them. So basically, in the beginning, I edited it with left stick, but I said, if I'm going to play double claw, I might as well use it, so I'm going to edit with touchpad. I tried to edit with triangle, it didn't feel right, and I just found touchpad to be the most suitable for me, and it felt the most right, and I could actually do decent with it. On my first day, I was feeling somewhat comfortable, not entirely because it was obviously my first day and I never played claw before, but it's gonna feel, you're gonna find the edit bind for you, and you're gonna like it. So I'm gonna show you guys my binds right now, and if you did not know, I suggest you guys use confirm edit on release. It is a really good bind, and you can edit fast. People think you can't edit fast with it, and it's more consistent. If you see Flea, look at one of his montages. He uses confirm edit on release, and he's a crazy editor. So I'm gonna show you guys my binds right now. So I have my left stick as switch mode. A lot of people use left stick for either their edit or their pickaxe. Pickaxe is a really good bind, but I find left stick is really amazing. It's hard to switch if you edit it with left stick, because you're going to be pressing it a lot and messing up, but trust me, it's a really good bind. And then next we have my toggle pickaxe's triangle. I press it like this, crouch, everything else is normal. And then we're going to get into my edit binds. So my edit is touchpad, as you guys can see down there. It's unbounded here, but as you can see over here, it is touchpad. And reset, I recommend that you use one of your resets as your triggers. Triggers are really good for reset. Don't use right stick. I hate it. A lot of people switch from it. So my reset is L1. So I go like this. I press this with my middle finger right here, and then I confirm with R2. It's a really fast motion, so I'll do touchpad, middle finger here, R1, and then R2, back trigger. So it's a full motion. I'm going to show you guys. like that. It's a really fast motion. You see, boom, boom, boom. It's a really fast motion. I really suggest you put triggers. So let's get into the rest of my binds. I'm pretty sure that's it. So yeah, and yeah, those are my dead zones. So I recommend, my binds are actually really good. I copied them from Flea. So all my binds are Fleas, and Flea's a really good touchpad editor, and a really good double claw. I suggest if you play double claw, you copy some with double claw settings, but it's really not that hard. It's really easy to get used to binds in a matter of a week. Just know it takes 1 week to get used to. I'm going to emphasize that more than your mom tells you to go clean your room, boys. And by the way, like and subscribe, boys. If these tips help you, like and subscribe. This journey was a struggle playing claw, and I probably guys think you're lame. You think that playing claw was hard. Trust, boys, it's not as easy as you think. I thought it was going to be easy because I see other people play it, but it takes practice. It's just going to take a lot of practice. And let's get into the last tip for this video. So this last tip is for mostly people who are thinking about switching to claw and you're watching this video. So do not hop into a pub game or arena. Do not do it. You're going to get really frustrated. You're going to just get really mad at the game. You're going to want to quit on your day one. So I suggest you guys do not hop into a pub game unless you've played club before and you're comfortable. But do not hop into a pub game. I'm telling you guys right now, you're not going to like it. You're going to be frustrated. You're going to think that you can't do it when you really can. So what you guys want to do on your day one, you want to hop into creative. What I did on my day one, I sat in creative all day. I'll tell you all day. You want to grind, edit courses for your day one. You want to free build. And you don't have to play claw the whole time. So let's say you switch from keyboard to mouse. So I was a keyboard player. I played keyboard and mouse, and I switched. You can play claw sometimes. Let's say when you're looting, you can play claw, and then you can switch back as soon as you get into a fight. You just want to get the gist of things in day one. So you don't have to switch completely. You can, when you're looting, maybe switch to claw to get the hang of stuff. Or maybe when you're fighting, you play claw, and when you're looting, you play keyboard. You just want to play enough so that your fingers get used to that position. And it's not you. You're not the one who's not going to be making progress. It's just your fingers. Your fingers are not going to be used to that position. I thought I couldn't do it. So you're normally used to holding control like this. Your fingers are just not used to it. You want to just program your fingers as much as possible and just make them as used to this position as possible. So I really hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope this video helped you on your journey to club. So yeah, like and subscribe, and I'm out.